A Christmas present. That night it wasn't different to any other night. We closed the curtains early. Outside it wasn't light. The cold air had descended before the end of day. Once again December was the same in every way. The snow had started falling and covered all in sight. Nothing moved and nothing stirred, and not a bird in flight. The silence seemed quite eerie, and all around was still. We put a log onto the fire, but still there was a chill. Time was passing slowly by, but no one seemed to care. We dozed for just a little while sitting in a chair. Outside a breeze was blowing, the snow fell hard and fast. No one stepped outside the door, now that the day had passed. Our evening meal was over, we all just sat around, lazing by the open fire, and no one made a sound. The flames would gently flicker, casting shadows on the wall. First one of you, then one of me, and then one of us all. Who knew what there was starting on that cold December night? Something that might scare us and give us all a fright. The knock that came upon the door was very loud and clear. We looked at one another and wondered who'd be here. I rose up from my armchair and went to look around. I saw nobody standing there. I couldn't hear a sound. I saw no footsteps in the snow that now lay very deep. I closed the door and went back in, and soon fell fast asleep. The others all were sleeping, but I was now awake, when once again I heard it. It wasn't a mistake, and it was so much louder now, that knock upon the door, followed by some footsteps that walked across the floor. I looked into the hallway, but there was no one there. Should I go on looking, or go back to my chair? By now I felt I was alone, with no one else around. All I heard was creaking, a faint and ghostly sound. The others were all sleeping, so had no sense of fear. They didn't even know about what danger may be near. With heart now pounding in my chest, I looked around the hall. Nothing looked unusual, nothing strange at all. I went from one room to another to see what I might see. Something else was in the house, whatever might it be. It wasn't something in my mind. We all had heard the knock. The only sound that I now heard, the ticking of the clock. The time, 11:45, the midnight hour was near. The snow no longer falling, the nighttime sky was clear. The noise that came from up above I could hardly hear, just a gentle tapping, but definite and clear. I climbed the stairs one by one and didn't make a sound, and though I looked in every room, nothing could be found. And then I heard a gentle laugh coming from below. I thought the others now awake and went downstairs quite slow. But when I got back to the room, all were fast asleep, the fire getting low now, and no one made a peep. What was playing with my mind and playing tricks on me? Knocking, tapping, laughing, yet nothing could I see. The time, 11:55, the night would soon be past, and still I felt uneasy, it couldn't go too fast. I waited in the hallway as quiet as I could, and wondered if I'd hear again the noise that chilled my blood. I waited, and I waited, until that fateful time. As I felt a gentle tap, the clock began to chime. I felt a shiver and a chill, and shouted out in fear. I turned and looked behind me, but nobody was here. I really wanted to escape. I wanted to get out. but something made me curious, of that there was no doubt. And once again I heard the knock loud upon the door. I slowly walked up to it, just like I'd done before. And then I heard the other sound, the laughter in the air. I quickly opened up the door, but nobody was there. The clock had stopped its chiming, and Christmas Day was here, and that is when I realised the noise was ghosts of Christmases that once I held so dear. A Christmas Present was written and recorded by Colin Boynton.